What's going on in the Phoenix real estate market? Interest rates are high, prices are falling. What's going on? I'm going to update you with everything you need to know, whether you're a home owner or whether you're looking to buy or sell, just kind of curious what's going on with the real estate market. I've got all that info for you here in this video. Hey, my name is John Glutch. I'm the team leader of the Glutch Group. We are a great real estate team full of amazing realtors here in the Valley, and I would love to dive right into the numbers just to show you what's going on and help you make some great decisions with your real estate ideas. So here's what we got going on. Interest rates are high, and this is one of the things I get asked a bunch is kind of what's going on with interest rates. What do you think is going to happen? And this has been a bit of a surprise for a lot of people. To some degree, me included, everyone thought, the interest rates were going to get lower when the Fed started dropping rates. And without explaining all the details, it doesn't quite work that way. It's not like when the Fed lowers rates, all of a sudden mortgage rates are lower. It's more complicated than that. And I'm not going to get into the details, except to say, as you kind of zoom in here, you can see that that's not what happened, right? The rates have been falling. And then this is right around when the Fed announced that they were going to lower interest rates. And guess what? Mortgage rates went up. And that's complicated, but it has to do with the fact that the economy is, in theory, at least doing better than we thought it was. And we got some news that told us that was the case. And when the economy is doing better, we tend to have, it's not quite this simple, but we tend to have higher interest rates. So that's what has happened. And here's the big picture. This is what I really want to make sure, and what we've been sharing a lot, make sure people understand, is this idea that I'm going to wait to make a decision, whether I'm going to buy or sell a property, either because of interest rates or elections. I'll talk about elections in a second. It's just not panning out. It's very, very hard to predict, surprise, what's going to happen in the economy. If we knew with certainty what was going to happen, we wouldn't be watching this video. I wouldn't be making this video, right? We'd be in the Bahamas, spending our money. And this has kind of been the case for quite a while. I mean, you can see interest rates back in 2022, kind of 7-ish, and they've just been bouncing around since then. So people who've been waiting around since interest rates were 3 to make a decision on buying or selling a property, unfortunately, the wait might be a long one. I don't know that we're going to see any big movements. The Fed has said they're going to keep lowering interest rates, but as I've just shown, that does not equal lower mortgage rates. So if you're waiting around for 5% or whatever, you might be waiting a long, long time. I think this is our new normal, and we've got to deal with it. Let me talk about elections next. Everyone asks, and this is a post that Mike Orr did. He runs the statistics kind of part of Arizona real estate, and he's just a brilliant guy. And so he did the studies, and he said, look, every year people, when there's an election, say, look, I'm waiting to the election to see what happens. Well, it turns out the election does not really have much of an influence on what happens in real estate in Phoenix. Those decisions are made based on people who are looking to move. They're changing schools. They're going to Texas. They're coming from Texas. Everything in between. People are moving because their life dictates they need to move. And so we're not seeing this thing where people are making big decisions really based on who wins the election. So, come election day, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when whoever wins, the next day we realize real estate's kind of the same as it was the day before. We're just not going to see much of a difference. You can pause the video and read this if you'd like to get the specific data on that. But the punchline is, you don't need to wait for the election. If you want to wait, sure, it's only a few weeks away, but it's not going to change much. All right, here's what's going on in the market. This is the supply, demand, and then market index. So the supply, you can see here, our supply we're a little undersupplied, so we're listing a little bit fewer homes than kind of would be a normal this time of year, but not a lot less, just kind of a little bit, and we're seeing that number pick up. We've got a little bump in active listings that's happened recently, I think because people are just sick of waiting for interest rates to change and moving on with their life. And then on the buy side, on demand, we see that 75 number. So that's indicating that there are less buyers. So 100 would be normal. So we're seeing that there's kind of less demand than normal. And what this is resulting in is a 93 overall number. So 100 would be a balanced market. So that would be about 3% appreciation a year. We're seeing 93.4, which means there's almost no upward pressure on pricing right now in the overall Metro Phoenix market. Now, this varies a lot and depending on where you are. So here's Phoenix, like the city of Phoenix, and you can see the Cromford Index here has been falling, got a little bit of a tip upward now at 119. But then if you look at Fountain Hills, it's been all over the place, and we're at like 180. So there is upward pressure on pricing in Fountain Hills, not much in Phoenix. Some areas, mostly the outskirts of town, are significantly lower in the 80s, and that means there's actually downward pressure on pricing. So really market dependent. If you're curious what's going on in your area, reach out. We'd be happy to give you some of those answers. And here's kind of how this report works is the black line, that's the Cromford Index I was just showing you. That shows us what's going to happen with appreciation. And you can see the big boom years, the black line goes up, and then when things crash, the black line goes down. And what we've seen here, and I'll zoom in as of late, is that things are just kind of getting normal. So we're sort of back to business as usual, right around 100. Right now, a little bit below 100, but you can see appreciation, which are these blue lines, has kind of normalized in the 2-3%. Some are, a little lower, a little higher, and nothing really spectacular. So kind of here's the big picture for you if you're looking to buy, looking to sell, or just curious what's happening with your house. If you are interested in buying, my suggestion, and the suggestion is kind of the same for everybody, is let your life be the decision maker. The good news is, as a buyer, is there's more inventory, a lot more than there was last year. So that's fantastic. A lot more homes to choose from. And you're not fighting against a bunch of people to buy the property. Interest rates are high, but my encouragement there is buy the property you love, find something that you really enjoy, and then buy it. And when interest rates do go down, and we don't know when that's going to happen, but when it happens, you can refinance. And then you're not fighting against other people who might be waiting to enter the market till interest rates drop. And again, we don't know when that could happen. That could take years. So I would encourage you, move on with your life. If you want to own a house, own a house. We're obviously big advocates of home ownership. This would be the same advice for people who are selling and then buying. If you're looking to get out of the house that it's not the perfect fit for you and you want something that is, now's a great time to do that. There's more selection, and again, I don't think interest rates are going to be changing anytime soon. If you're a seller, same advice. I would say, move on. If you want to sell your property, sell your property. If you've got a good life reason to do that, trying to time the market is super tough. So we anticipate about the same thing next year, home appreciation being sort of normalized. I don't know when interest rates are going to change. So I would just say, if you were looking to sell, go ahead and sell. Move on with your life. If you're a home owner, your property probably going to be worth, a little bit more next year than it is this year. It's going to be kind of putzing along a little bit higher. And if you don't have a reason to sell, if you love your home, you're thrilled with it, everything's great, then by all means, stick around and know that you made a great choice to buy a property. So, big picture, move on with your life. Enjoy it. Don't worry about timing the market. That's really hard to do. And we would love to help you facilitate that buy or that sale. Just reach out. You're just curious what your home's worth, just reach out to us. We would love to help you answer those questions. Thanks so much. And I hope this helps you make some great real estate decisions.